Hey y'all, welcome back. Alpha 7. I am so sorry. It's been a little while, right? Right? I am so sorry, my friends. I did not forget you. I definitely want to get this channel growing. I know people appreciate the little reading snippets and I totally love reading too. Who doesn't love it? Right? We need to make it cool again, guys. More people need to, especially this younger generation. I think they would stay out of trouble more. I think their imaginations would be more stimulated, right? And just called me a throwback, right? Because I was raised watching PBS just like the rest of you all. And we remember the Reading Rainbow. So I used to always tune in. And even though I didn't even care for some of the books, but and on this channel, I try to make it interesting. And, I put various things on this channel. I try to keep it because I already started this book. So I didn't want to get off course. So we ended on chapter 3 on this book, Doublespeak. And if you didn't know, I also go by Dia Dash. That's my primary channel, DIA, short for my name, Diana. And Dash. I think I'm the only one known by that. It's pretty hard to come up with names. It was something that was a little unique. I also have a foundation I put together, True North. I'm known on Patreon as Dia Dash too. I do a lot of administrative processes like financial freedom, debt discharge. So I am always trying to do innovative ways. Hello, I already did a video earlier today and I had to do a take two. So please forgive me. I am super tired, but I'm like, I can't forget um my tribe on Alpha 7. I'm like, oh no, it's been far too long since I've uploaded. So, I'm like, let me get to it. So, we're going to just read a couple of pages. And then this week, I'll definitely make up for lost time. So, if you're new, thank you. I usually cover a range of topics. I'm just definitely one of those, go with the flow. I love talking about holistic remedies. I love talking about, real life reality check, on my Dia Dash. I'll be drinking my tea sometimes and we'll be dishing the tea, y'all. But on Alpha 7, I just try to test the waters, what people like. And I know people were really into this book too. So we'll go back into chapter 4. So I'm over here with like one hand doing it all. So I'm going to flip the camera. Here we go. I'm going to flip the camera quick. I have it on a board so it can be nice and white for you all as I'm sitting down. A little parched, don't mind me. So we're reading this book, Doublespeak, from Revenue Enhancement to Terminal Living, How Government, Business, Advertisers, and Others Use Language to Deceive You. And as you remember, it's from William Lutz. This is just a makeshift little work area I have. Oh, guys, been a long day. So I'll read just a little bit so we can get our feet wet because it seems like it could be quite the yeah, it looks like it could be a long chapter too. And you know how it's divided in sections? So we get a lot just from reading a little. So we're going to go into chapter 4, okay? And I'll put this in consecutive order. And also, guys, if you just caught this video and you want to go back to my first video, it's funny, even just seeing how I have evolved since the first couple of videos. It's too funny. But I put it on a playlist too, so you can check out my playlist, and I put them all in consecutive order. So we're on page 108, chapter 4, Negative Deficits and the Elimination of Redundancies in the Human Resources Area. Business Communication. Sort of. It's been a tough day shopping, but you're almost finished. Just a couple more things to get, and you can head for home. Loaded down with bags, you struggle into the last store. Looming before you is the courtesy desk with the sign that firmly states For your convenience, please check all packages at the desk. You waited in line to unload your pile of packages into the hands of the customer service representative. Sorry, guys, I gotta scratch my eye. I can't. Who stacks them behind the counter and gives you your check number. After finding two of the four things you need and standing in line for what seems like hours waiting to pay, you reclaim your packages and wearily fight your way through the traffic to get home. Sorting through your packages at home, you discover something's missing, but you distinctly remember paying for that electric hamburger flipper and taking it with you. Let me move my hands. Then you realize that they must have forgotten to give it to you at the last store when you reclaimed your checked packages. So, fighting the traffic yet again, you drive back to the store to pick up the package you checked for your convenience. It dawns on you then that you didn't check your packages for your convenience at all. In fact, it was very inconvenient for you to check your packages. You checked those packages for the store's convenience. And you check them because that was page 108, because the store is trying to control its inventory shrinkage, not because it's providing a service for you. You have just been introduced to business doublespeak. Since business permeates so much of our lives, business doublespeak can have serious and far-reaching consequences. Because business doublespeak is so prevalent, however, you tend to ignore it, and you end up paying for your ignorance, whether you realize it or not. While some business doublespeak, such as job titles, is often obvious and humorous, other business doublespeak is subtle and serious. You need to be aware of business doublespeak for your own economic survival, if for no other reason, and there is plenty to keep you busy. These days, banks don't offer second mortgages on rental property. They offer non-owner occupied equity recovery. When fewer policyholders died during the year than the insurance company expected, it reported a bigger than anticipated profit due to positive mortality experience. When the Wilson Sporting Goods Company decided to close its U.S. plant where baseball gloves were made and import foreign-made gloves instead, it announced that it had decided to go to foreign source its glove needs. In a catalog of products for 1986, sorry guys, I'm trying to get this steady. In its catalog of products for 1986, Sears offered a ceramic mug that was made in USA and imported from England. Credit companies no longer have collection departments or billing departments, they have fulfillment offices. After the psychedelic 60s, which were followed by the silent 70s, we hit the greedy 80s, a time when making lots of money was not only socially and morally acceptable, but required. Yuppies with their lives of hard work, big bucks, and fancy cars, clothes, and habitats made the cover of Newsweek. Greed is good. And Michael Douglas in the movie Wall Street, and we all knew what he meant. The Peace Corps was out, and business school and investment banking were very much in. Then the fourth quarter equity retreat hit in October 1987. Business, like most areas of our lives, has always had doublespeak. But with the increased popularity of business, I was born in the 70s, guys. That's really funny. What genre were you born in? I was born in the 70s, and I guess they call it the silent 70s. That's too funny. Because you know why? I like it quiet. I like it so quiet. So where were we? So the double, page 110. Doublespeak has not just been given wider circulation, it has increased dramatically. When Thomas Murphy, chair of the board of General Motors, was interviewed on Meet the Press in 1980, he was asked why the automobile business was so bad. Said Mr. Murphy without hesitation, "We are in a period of negative economic growth." This was one way of saying that because so many workers were laid off during the recession, few people could afford to buy a new GM car. And when the GAF Corporation announced in 1981 that it was selling nearly half of its subsidiary companies, a Wall Street investment banker praised the company for its enterprise restructuring, a term that sounded a whole lot better than the previously popular term downsizing. So there you go. So the new word for downsizing, which means layoff, getting fired, has now been properly called enterprise restructuring. Restructuring. Yep, just to spare people's feelings. We're going to leave off on page 111, so we'll do this section, the double speak of avoidance, because you see how there's quite a bunch of sections, so this can get really detailed. We're already hitting 11 minutes, so I like doing my videos at different lengths. So, the double speak of avoidance, guys. With double speak, companies can discuss subjects they would prefer to avoid. Pacific Gas and Electric Company no longer sends its customers monthly bills. Now it sends them energy documents. At United Parcel Service, no driver is the worst driver. Instead, a driver is the least best driver. As CBS TV, the Program Practices Department is the name given to the censor Kirk Willison of the American Banking Association denied in 1988 that interest rates on bank credit cards were too high. Don't call it an interest rate, call it a service rate. That's interesting. It's not just a credit card, it's a payment mechanism, protested Mr. Willison. In 1982, federal investigations into widespread fraud in the heart pacemaker industry revealed that kickbacks were called rebates. Interesting. I'm going to have to highlight this section. Or fees for product testing. You see that, guys? So kickbacks are also called rebates. So this is page 110 from this book. When General Motors wanted to avoid a recall of 5.3 million cars in 1984, it tried to persuade the federal government that it isn't dangerous for a car's rear wheel and axle to fall off. Rockwell International had a slight problem in 1984 when, after more than 5 years of research and 12 million worth of engineering, the space shuttle's toilet still did not work. On 10 of 11 trips into space, the toilet failed. Rockwell, however, insisted that the toilet had not failed but just suffered a number of different problems. For Mark Carter of Austin, Texas, the doublespeak used by his savings and loan association was financially painful. When Mr. Carter handed over his automatic teller machine card and access code at gunpoint, the robber's $500 withdrawal was an authorized transaction. According to Texas federal savings and loan officials, a letter to Mr. Carter stated that Texas Federal had established a policy to consider a robbery of an ATM to be an authorized transaction. Willie Sutton would have loved to have heard that. That's crazy, guys. So we're going to leave off on page 111, and we're going to kick back off the next time on the next section, doublespeak and product development. You see how interesting this book can really get? Let me put my little bookmark here so I don't forget, guys. And I'm sorry, I need to get some water. I'm like extremely thirsty because I already did a 40-minute video on my initial channel, guys. So please forgive me. I'm usually not going this hard. Today has been an extremely long day, but I wanted to get this in because I was like, oh no, I didn't want you to think that I forgot you guys. I didn't. And I want to keep this channel on point too. I appreciate all you guys who subscribe and support my channel and this work. And plus it'll be out there for people who don't have this book. And you know what? It could just take somebody in the future, probably a young person, whoever, right? And we just want to make reading again. And again, if you don't mind my stumbling here and there, I don't mind reading it to you all. So I just want to thank you again for tuning in. I will keep you guys posted. I will link my other channel below. I'm also on Patreon. I do, this book also helps me break down a lot of things too. There's a lot of fraud going on in the banking system and these corporations, just in general. So I just been helping people with consumer protection laws, validation of debt, discharge debt, things like that. So if you're interested in that type of topic, you can always check me out. Also on Dia Dash, I'll have to look for the password for my Alpha 7 Media email. I have so many emails, so many this and that. So for now, I'll just put my Dia Dash email below if you ever want to reach out to me for any of those things. If you're into those topics, you can check me out on the other channel too. So I'll definitely touch base with you guys soon this week. Have an amazing night. I hope that you have a great rest of the week, and I will definitely touch base soon. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time.